Morning, folks. Getting ready to launch here on the river. We're gonna talk. I got Jake over there. Bo's running a little bit behind. Before we get in the water, you know, we have ideas before we even leave our house. Which of these lures? And here are a couple that Jake has tied on. Sometimes we tie something on at the house and we think, yeah, this is gonna be it. But really, the important moment is when we get there and we first look at that water and we decide, based on those conditions, what is our starting point? Our last video, we talked about the rationale for breaking down changes, how you change your bait in terms of how fast it's moving, how big the profile is, how much flash, how much vibration or sound, really what it represents, you know, what kind of forage species. All of that was in the last video. Really long one. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch that one. But I want to kind of quiz these guys as they get here. What's your starting point? Because honestly, in our successful days, most of the time, we catch most of our fish on one lure. How we get there, how we get to that one successful pattern and presentation and lure that we replicate, it's interesting. The whole process is interesting, and it starts with when you first look at that water. Let's get Jake's first impression. Let's go walk down there and look at the water.
Let's go. All right, we going?
All right, Jake has already like stuck his finger in the river and tasted it.
Yeah, I mean, here, I'll do you one better.
It's a good way to get Giardia, man. You know that, right? No. You know, I pooped like right there last time we were.
That's fine. It's washed away. I stuck my hand in the water and my fingers aren't cold.
Yeah.
So
you're getting water temp before you even get in.
Yeah.
Which tells you something about what part of your presentation.
I mean, it tells me that they're going to be more active, I would think, because the water's warming. I mean, even though it's a little bit chilly this morning, we've had a warming trend.
70-some degrees for a few days.
70, 80
right
degrees.
Now it's 40, like low 40s.
But it hasn't affected the water yet.
It doesn't happen that quick.
Right.
Usually it's the day after the cool down that gets it.
Tomorrow might be tough, but I think today they're going to chew.
All right. So this water clarity, which is pretty clear.
Yeah, it's relatively clear.
But this flow, which is still up pretty good. It's going to concentrate them in eddies you're going to be able to see.
It's 5.5 and falling at the Harrisburg gauge, which means it's likely. I didn't look at the Sunbury gauge, but if it's 5.5 and falling at the Harrisburg gauge, this is going to be even less because this water pushes the Harrisburg gauge.
Yeah.
I would expect it. I mean, it's manageable. It's really manageable right now.
It's a lot of discussion, and I appreciate it. What lure? What is your first cast?
Spinnerbait.
What kind of spinnerbait?
Bait fish color.
Okay, so a natural spinnerbait. What kind of blades?
Willow leaf. I rarely throw much.
2 willows?
Yeah, double willow. I don't throw much in terms of Colorado blades unless it's really dirty. Jeffrey, what do you think the presentation is going to be today?
Where I'm starting, the thought process is I really don't want to have to go down to this super. I mean, this is where I had to start last time out. It was clear, not much moving current in the creek, and I got a nice one on that, but I don't want to invest that amount of time, or that. Those are all slow presentations. Would it be really fun is that jackhammer with the big bat wings. That would be fun. I don't know, that's going to be it. I still got to put my scented jerk shad on that rod. And then if I could pull off having that swim bait work, but I think the way I think that's going to be it by the end of the day. I think it's still a little bit chilly, and they'll kind of start slow. You got to give them time. That's what it was last time, right? But last time it was overcast, and we got kind of a mix. Let's look in here. When we do have sun, I want a little bit of flash. That doesn't really have flash, but that's a great clear water presentation. I got one in here somewhere. That's got a lot of flash. There's a specific one I'm looking for. And that's kind of cool. That's what I want. That's my starting point. So it kind of looks like a ghost minnow with the counter shading of a natural kind of green color, but it's got the scale pattern that gives it the flash. So cranked up on the flash, and you know, the same slender pointer 112 MR that I got them on in that you know, in the chartreuse shad. So I like having I really have, you know, enjoyed using these quick line clips because I don't already have something tied on. I can take this guy off, throw it in my cup holder or whatever that is, and tie on a fresh one. So that's my starting point. We'll see how it does. All right, Bo's arrived.
Good morning.
Look at the water. Tell me, from what you tied on when you were at home to what you're seeing now.
First of all, I didn't tie nothing on when I left home.
Okay, so you got a bunch of Tidal Potomac stuff.
Yeah, I got a bunch of Tidal Potomac stuff tied on. I'm gonna retie. What I'm looking at right now, water's moving pretty good. We're gonna throw. I'm gonna throw. Probably start off with a chatterbait or a jig.
What? Pick one. Like what? If you say chatterbait, what?
Chatterbait.
What color?
Dark color, black and blue.
Yeah.
Is what I'm gonna look at targeting with.
Okay.
Try to hit something up in the eddies.
There's one.
There's one right there. Yeah.
Cool.
There's a white chartreuse which is coming off, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
All right. Let's see how we get them.
Yep.
All right. Guys have already taken off. I don't even know where. I could be looking right at them. I had to immediately come back because I've got something new on the Osprey, which is going to be standard with the Innovative Sportsman Osprey 1436 moving forward. That was not standard on my prototype. I picked up at Trey's shop yesterday at the same time that Jake, there he is, picked up his production Osprey 1436. He's got some in. They're ready to go. But what was different is this high-low seating. These are actually aluminum brackets that allow you to, and I actually have it low in the back but high in the front. I gotta seat that down. I've had to do all these different adjustments to my setup, which is basically I couldn't reach the foot pegs. I know that sounds absurd that I can't reach foot pegs, but that was the case, and I'm still making adjustments. Like I took it out, my toes were touching it, but I couldn't quite get whatever. I had to run back up and get tools. Not that these require tools, because this is toolless with the if you can see the toolless adjustment with the Low Pro wing knob. However, everything else that's on the track, the Anchor Wizard required tools to slide it forward so this could come forward. So I'm figuring out adjustments. Immediately, as soon as I got in the seat, I like having the front of the seat pan up, just more support on the leg. Immediately I'm like, this is more comfortable. So I like that angle. First time I really experienced that angle was actually in Jake's old Town Predator. The angle of the seat Man, that's long-term, hours and hours on the water. That angle of the seat is really comfortable. It's the seat pan equivalent of having, you know, the lumbar support on the backrest. So I'm happy with it already. It just required some adjustment. So gonna catch up with the guys, see if they're catching any, and yeah, slow start, but we'll get on them here quickly. All right, this is the kind of water I got a lot of faith in. Tail end of an island, a lot of interesting kind of swirling foam. We actually got some still stuff all the way at the back here. Everyone races to the top and fishes that first, but I think sometimes the bigger fish are further back in it. Just study that foam, work all of it. Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Nice. Bo pulls up on the end of this island and says, I've caught a 22.5 incher here.
I swear. We'll see.
That's not him, but
No.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did you get your 22.5 here?
When?
Yeah, what time of year?
August.
Nice.
August, September. 18.5.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
All right, I've thrown the jerkbait quite a bit, and now I'm gonna throw what I hope it is. I'm throwing it on the baits, El Jefe. The only problem with that, I keep showing everyone this, and man, you show someone a reel, what do? Change everything. It just constantly do this, do this, do this, adjust everything out of whatever you have it. They can't just pick it up and throw it. They gotta change stuff. It's sort of the equivalent of, you know, hopping in someone's car, changing all the mirrors and the seat, everything. I gotta make sure that this is right. I don't think it is. All right, Bo just missed one on a chartreuse and white spinnerbait. They're gonna eat spinnerbaits. We'll see how he keeps going with this. I'm not opposed to changing this jackhammer to a spinnerbait at all. We're getting into the section that has the rock. I got a ledge rock right here with a bunch of wood cut up on it. Move it over here. I've switched over to the big white diesel minnow, mostly because I can skip it a little bit better than I can a spinnerbait. Get it into those tight spots. Alright, I like the concept of a bait with a big trailer that I can skip. That bulk of the trailer allows me to skip it up at the top of the eddy. I'm going with white because we're going, I mean, our sky is turned predominantly overcast, and white against an overcast sky is a great, you know, it just works. That's a good one. One. Oh, first bite. Oh, I got jackhammer fish with the diesel minnow in there. Oh, that's a big fish. Let's take a look. It was over here, and this is a 20. I just know it's a 20. Like, that's a 20-inch smallmouth. He was on that log right there. And you like the jackhammer. It's almost noon and I've gone that long not catching anything, and God, he jammed it. Let me see how sure I was of myself that this is a 20-incher. All right, 19.5-incher, beautiful fish here, real deep bodied, just shy of 4 pounds. Hit this the diesel minnow and jackhammer combo, so it's a little bit muddier water, but we got the overcast skies. It just makes sense when they look up, something that kind of blends in with that white ceiling that's above them. You know, I do well with white, whether it's a jerkbait or in this case the jackhammer or spinnerbait, whenever I have overcast skies. So letting this guy breathe, we'll go ahead and get him back in the water now. There she goes. So I think part of what makes it work, I am getting it close to wood. I did on that one, and you know, I'm skipping it in there to get it deep into that, and it wasn't a real fast retrieve. Not burning it, but it was, I mean, that fish was on the log, and I gave him a shot to come out and grab it. Haven't gotten any more bites on the jackhammer. I think it's time to crankbait now. I think it's time to go back to the jerkbait. Looks like a creek mouth. Yeah, Jake. What's up? Oh, just checking in, man. You know the part of the highway you can see, like, with no trees in the way? We're upstream from that, on the opposite shore, and I'm looking at this thing trying to figure out if it's a creek mouth. Like, you can't get in it because there's a thing across. I'm thinking about sawing it. I don't know. Are you continuing to catch them? Okay. Jake followed me down into this. Did you see me sawing it?
I did not see you sawing it. All I saw was a paddle on the other side of the brush, and I was like, he's not getting water all to himself. Absolutely not. I'm not going to allow it.
No. So you let me do the work and then you take advantage.
100%.
All right, we found a little board here that we're gonna hop out, and I think what this is a path for them to take tractors out and actually farm that island. We're gonna beach and fish right there. All right, we've all pulled back together. Guys, give me a synopsis how many you got, Jake?
How many do I have?
Yeah.
I don't know. More than a few.
More than a few. Okay. What'd you get them on?
Almost everything came on a spinnerbait until I lost the good color spinnerbait, and then I started throwing a stealth blade jackhammer, and I caught maybe 4 or 5 since then on that.
All right. So spinnerbait and stealth blade jackhammer. Bo, what do you got them on?
Everything I've caught and a couple that I've lost have been on a spinnerbait.
Okay.
Chartreuse, white chartreuse with a little bit of blue in it.
Okay.
And all of them have been good fish. 16 inches and above.
Nice. Well, I got a creek that I want to go check out. You guys want to join me down there?
Absolutely. Let's rock.
We're going to run down through some of this white water, and you know, it's kind of like, hey, it's what is it, 2:45. It's worth hitting this one more good spot. You know, I did well there last week, and I know it's loaded with fish. So let's make a run.
Following you.
All right. Expected to get him on. Hey, finally got one on the jerkbait. Nice fish. What do you got? The creek mouth because we had a guide boat sitting right on it. So we're up in the creek a little bit, and you find those deeper areas and just finesse it. You know, as clear as it is, the power fishing presentations that we had out in the main river are just too much for here. I mean, I think you'd get 1 or 2 that would eat it, but they're in concentrations of deep water, and you can pick off more fish trying to hang back and throw in a finesse presentation repeatedly than you can hitting it once or twice with a power fishing presentation. At that other bridge pile, some deep water out in front of that. jerkbait. I should probably just put the jerkbait away. Okay, opening the bail on the jerkbait rod. So not sealing that. Open the bail. Okay, and it falls out. Get one on the finesse jig. See that. So the last couple came on the finesse jig with the small bat wings. I tied a ton of these over the winter. This one is a head that I kind of just created with the Dremel. It's a really weirdly shaped head. Almost kind of looks like E.T.'s head. Got a bristle guard in there, so I can throw that into the brush here, and a little bit of olive bucktail, a little bit of silicone, 2 strips of round rubber to make up the crayfish antenna here, and a little dab of the craw liquid mayhem. Makes this a tasty treat. Did at first. I don't like it so much. It's funny that this was the spot last time here, and I haven't even gotten a bite in it. Different, different river levels, different conditions, different aggression levels of the fish. I mean, they were totally aggressive last time. That was hooked up. Pretty good one. We had them on spinnerbait fish like all day.
All day.
Oh, I have yet to get one on spinnerbait.
All day.
That is a round fish you got there, Bo.
Oh, it's a nice round one. Fatty.
Show me the, let him go and then show me the spinnerbait you're getting him on.
Alright.
Chunk. Nice, man.
Nice one. Nice one, nice one. Yes, sir. With the spinnerbait, I'll be getting it all day.
You said it's a booyah?
Booyah.
Nice.
Yep. A booyah.
Alright, I'm going to give the spinnerbait one more try on these ledges before we wrap it up for the day. You think I can get just one on a spinnerbait? It'd be nice.
I'm telling you, they've been wearing it out.
Alright, I think I'm putting away the spinnerbait because clearly I have the wrong one for today. Actually, I've had the wrong 3, 4. But the right power fishing presentation, at least for the big one, for me, the jackhammer. I'm gonna go back to that for at least the remainder of these little islands before we head back up to the launch and call it a day. This, at least I know the big ones will eat. That's a big one. Oh, are you gonna stay buttoned? Come on, jerkbait fish. Net. Yes. Big one. Look at you. Look at you chewing. Nice. So I've had these pliers since I cast last year. They're the Cuda pliers. They've held up really well. It's saying something if I been able to hold on a piece of gear that long as much as I use them. So nice. All right, that fish was right on that current seam all the way at the top. I actually brought it back about 10 feet from there on a good rip, good hard rip, and sat there, I don't know, 5 seconds. As soon as I started moving again, he was jumping on it.